Stop now. No, nothing can move you.
Well, good day. Welcome to the Bobby Brown Show on the GO. I'm your host, Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? Let me get myself up here. Let me take the governor off. Here for a second. So I've been trying to get myself back in health, pushing about 45 miles a day, change my diet, doing a little plant-based diet, a little turkey here and there, losing a little weight, not fast enough, but my goal is to drop 50 by this summer. I'm going to be lean, mean, and looking clean. Anyway, it ain't about me today. I want to get to this sapsucker right here. I've warned you about this guy. I told you about this guy. I told you don't let the imagery fool you. Don't let the TV personality, the focus groups, the advisors, don't let them fool you. Because they will paint the picture that people are on your side. And don't get me wrong, here, and I got the nerves to hear somebody on the rise and talk about the black brother. I'm like, they have to always send out the black brother to cover up for a white crook. Always. They always send out the black brother to cover up for the white crook. Talking about let the people of New York decide. Well, I'm in New York. I'm in the Bronx. And it's a lot of people like me. I told you Cuomo was a sneaky, snaky, limey con artist. I told you that. The crap he did with his dad, with Ed Koch, trying to say he didn't have anything to do with it, talking about don't vote for the homo, vote for Cuomo. That was sly. That was ridiculous. That's just like putting out a saying, don't vote for the Negro, vote for Hillary Clinton. Y'all would have lost your mind if that happened to you. Especially those people who liked Obama. I told you that this guy was a snake from the jump start and how he manipulated and tried to kill the Cynthia Nixon race. How he said that if you can get rid of the IDC, I will do a whole bunch of things. I will give you Medicare for all. I will legalize weed. I will do a whole host of things. Sure, he gave us we got $15 minimum wage, but that was going to come anyway because the union was putting the heat on his behind. And the union was about to shut down the whole state of New York if he didn't press it and approve it. I told you about this guy. He don't want to push $15 an hour. He was forced. Yeah. And he only did it just to build his reputation up for presidency. I did $15 minimum wage. I did no-cost college up to $250,000. But the key is you have to go to CUNY College. You don't get to go to Columbia. You don't get to go to no other college here. You have to go to a CUNY or SUNY college. And you have to live within the state. I told you this guy, how he's going to fumble up the COVID relief. He's going to act like he's going to help do his part to side with Trump, to make himself look like he's working across the line to help Trump with this so-called new miracle to help people beat COVID. Problem is they misconstrued the information that was given from the doctors who were using this new method to beat COVID. And in a gain of political posturing, they decide to use it in a whole nother different way. The doctor said, look, HCQ, you along with the azithromycin and zinc, you give it to them 5 days before among diagnosis, and you give them low doses. No, they wait to 10, 15, 20 days and give it to somebody in high dosage in ICU or in emergency care. And then he come back, I don't see where it helped or where it didn't help. Do you realize that caused a lot of people to die in New York City because they flubbed that up trying to take a political position against Trump when it ain't had nothing to do with Trump? Even Trump fouled that up with his big blab mouth. mentioning one medication and didn't mention how it is, have somebody there to tell you how it's used. He mentioned one medication and they hopped on it and come up with every reason why you shouldn't use it. And then they had to do a retraction, especially in the Lancet. You go look it up. And a whole bunch of other hospitals have endorsed using this stuff in low dosage, including NYU Langone, including Norwell Hospital, including University of Virginia. Not University of Virginia, but what is it? Eastern Medical College of Virginia. Host of colleges used this technique and saw people get better. You could always YouTube it and look it up. I don't tell you lies. I tell you what's out there. Look it up yourself. Did whatever he could to shame that medication where people couldn't get the medication. And that's not the medication. I told you the science. The medication is only used as a zinc ionophore to allow the zinc to come in to kill the virus. But there's other zinc ionophores such as quercetin and ECGG. There's a whole bunch of other zinc ionophores which allows a opening in the blood channel for the zinc to get in the body to kill the virus. The zinc needs an open door to get into to kill the virus. All of this just so he can look like he's a man. And yeah, he had the daily briefing and all that kind of stuff, and it made us look proud. And I'm like, don't fall for that mess. I guarantee you he misconstruing the numbers. Go look at my old videos. Guarantee you he's screwing the numbers. He's fumbling them numbers up. I guarantee you. And guess what he did? He did. Now here, fast forward now, we find out all the dead people in these nursing homes. And he's directly at fault, and he should be tried, and he should be tried for crimes of humanity. No, don't get me wrong. He's done some good things here, but when you do a whole lot of bad over the good and some heinous bad things over the good cannot shine. All these elderly people died because he figured I need to put some people with COVID in the senior homes, in the rehabilitation centers. What is wrong with this man? Yet he'll smile in the face and tell you everything is okay when everything wasn't okay. I live in New York. I had to hear the sirens go by every 3 to 5 minutes. It was nerve-wracking. You walk outside, it looked like a freaking zombie town. Doing whatever we can to listen to this man. And here we go, fast forward. He has the situation with not just this, but he got sexual allegations. Now, I'm on Facebook and I'm hearing people, it's Trump. Trump just trying to shame him because he might be the next president, so they got to kill him, his presidency. This ain't got nothing to do with no freaking Trump. Stop giving that man more power than he has. You're giving that guy power he don't have. How in the world he has anything to do with that man messing with these women? Now I understand you're single, you flirt, and if she accept the flirt away. But if she stop you in your track, stop you in track. Because people flirt. I've flirted before. But when you're in a position of high power, oh, I didn't tell you about how he developed a committee to look into political crimes, and as soon as they start looking into his behind, he shut them down. The whole purpose the IDC was created in New York is so he can have a scapegoat for not doing nothing for you, just like Joe Biden is trying to have a scapegoat for not doing nothing for you on this $15 an hour minimum wage and this Senate parliamentary bullcrap. We're going to talk about that soon. Bull. Well, let's listen to him with his BS.
I want to address the recent allegations that have been made against me. As you probably know, the Attorney General is doing an independent review and I will fully cooperate.
Now, understand who the Attorney General is. Great woman. I met her personally. I met her a few times. I know her personally. I got access to her if I wanted to get connected with her. May have her on the show if I'm worthy of the time, because you know I don't do interviews. But she's been investigating not just Trump, but she's been investigating this dude too. Labor unions wanted this lady to run for governor. She decided to run for attorney general. She was the public advocate for New York City, fought very hard for workers, fought very hard for working people. My personal campaign, working with her to get unionized a company that was came here from North Carolina and took over a call center in New York, and they started treating the people of New York, the workers, like trash. We worked together with her to help us push them to become unionized. She don't take sides when it comes to this. She takes sides with the law. Now, I'm going to hurry up and finish with this. She's investigating Cuomo, but that's not the only thing she's investigating Cuomo on. There's a whole bunch of other things she's investigating Cuomo on, too. She also investigated Mayor Bill de Blasio on the incident that happened in New York concerning some protesters. Why that dude look like Ted Cruz in the corner? Hold on, let me keep going. Tish James is investigating this guy. And I know he feel uncomfortable. You know, you got this black woman that's going to investigate. Most of us usually know that sometimes some of the black women in the political field, they kind of kiss up to the white establishment, looking for another higher position. A lot of them do that, and a lot of the men do that too. So I only can go with her about 80%. 80% saying she'll do her job. The other 20% tell me that she may disappoint me. But let's let them keep talking.
Operate with that review. I fully support a woman's right to come forward.
See, that's that bull crap that Joe Biden said. I fully support a woman's right to come forward. You cannot say you don't, because Me Too will eat your behind up. I fully support a woman's right to come forward. Of course you do. Of course you do.
And I think it should be encouraged in every way.
Now, you got to see the slickness of this guy. This guy is slick. He got that New York tough guy mafia talk, and probably is part of mafia. He muscles around and bully people around, just like Trump. He bully employees around. He'll bully anybody around if you get in his way. Yeah, the man who said, "Look, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm red, I'm blue, I'm a labor person, I'm a woman." The man who said he all that, which pretty much tell me he pretty confused. These are the things that make me think he even more confused.
I now understand that I acted in a way that made people feel uncomfortable.
Now you understand.
It was unintentional, and I truly and deeply apologize for it.
How can you say it's unintentional? How can you say it's unintentional when you grab somebody's face and kiss them on the forehead, or you kiss them on the lip, or you're smelling their hair, or you're pulling their hair back, and these are people you have no relationship with? How can you say it's unintentional? Well, let's keep going.
I feel awful about it.
And you should. You should feel awful about it. I don't think he feel awful about it. I think he's trying to get an Academy Award. He already lied about he already got this best-selling book where he lied halfway through it. And now he fully feels sorry for it. Yeah, right, man. Get out of here.
And frankly, I am embarrassed by it.
He's embarrassed. He said he embarrassed, y'all. I'm embarrassed by it. Frankly, I'm embarrassed about it. Come on, man. This is Governor Cuomo, New York tough guy, New York strong. We don't get embarrassed. No, we're tough. We take it on the chin. We don't ever get embarrassed. This guy trying to tell you he embarrassed. What he's trying to do is get some sympathy from you so you can forgive and forget. Let him continue to do his job. Forgive and forget so he could possibly still get a run in 2024. It's the same thing that Andrew Gilliam is doing. You got caught in the doggone hotel butt ball naked, all kind of drugs around. I don't know if you were set up or not, but the point is you should have been home with your wife. And you around here with all these, having an orgy party in Florida. And I know y'all don't like me for saying that because it's a black man who could have been the governor of Florida. The color don't matter to me. I mean, color do matter to me, but your actions matter more to me. And people going around saying they set him up for that. Maybe they did, but we all knew he was more than a metrosexual dude. Everybody knew that guy. I kept saying to myself, man, something up with that guy, man. And that's the same way I felt about Governor Cuomo. Now, I met Governor Cuomo twice, and I left him wanting to vomit. Let me keep going.
I never touched anyone inappropriately.
Now, obviously, he haven't been to school of touch. He haven't went to the school of touch. Maybe his mama didn't tell him, his granddaddy didn't tell him. Maybe somebody should have told him what the school of touch is. For him to say something like this is asinine. And when I say asinine, he looking just like a...
I never knew at the time that I was making anyone feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to...
That's because you're a man, dude. And a man, oftentimes as a man, we do manly things, not could care less whether it's somebody. I mean, look, let me tell you something, man. I was in school, man, and you're young, perverted teenager, man. We would do anything. Man, I seen dudes put glass mirrors in their shoe just to step up under a girl and see what we men do some stupid stuff. Did my mic turn down, man? What's up, nephew? Yeah, he said he doing a Bill Clinton Phantom beat. I never had touching relationship with that moment. Somehow my hand just jumped on her face and started rubbing her on the face. No, I never knew smelling a strange kid's hair was inappropriate. Dude, you don't know me. And that's my daughter, man. What you smelling her hair for? You right, Snapshot. This dude is trying to put on an award-winning show. I never knew. Man, fool, if you don't go sit your behind down somewhere, you never knew.
Learn from it. Marcia asked me about, my usual custom is to kiss and to hug and make that gesture.
So you like Rodney on Fred Sanford? Rodney on Fred Sanford? Brother-in-law kissing on everybody, hugging on everybody and all that, and Fred got to wipe his face down and stuff like that. So you, Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. New York Strong, happen to be a real softy where I just do that. I just hug and I just kiss and I touch people in the face and, just like Joe Biden. I didn't know I was doing. I didn't know. I just saw a little strange girl and I just pulled her hair back and rubbed her in the face. Man. Her dad didn't say anything. Of course, he ain't gonna say anything to you. He's intimidated by you. Bunch of crap, man.
Understand that sensitivities have changed and...
Sensitivity has changed. When have it been appropriate for you to just grab a stranger by the face? When have that been appropriate? I go outside and I see the nearest good-looking woman and I grab her by the face. She'll probably kick me dead in the gonads. Negro, get your hands off me. I don't know you where your hand been, and I don't know you. But this guy.
Behavior has changed, and I get it, and I'm going to learn from it. I'm not going to resign. I work for the people of the state of New York. They elected me.
And this is the point I want to get to. He don't want to resign. It's just like Trump, who would not drop out the race when the accusations came against him. It's just like Joe Biden, who would not drop out the race when the accusations came after him. They still believe they should get your support, and oftentimes we still support these fools after they have these allegations. I understand some of these allegations could be made up. Some of them could be made up, but not most. What incentive do they get? You can't write a book deal off somebody grabbing your butt while you walking down the aisle on an airplane. You can't get no book deal off that. What incentive you have for that? And then you got foolish black people talking about Trump is setting him up. Are you freaking kidding me? Get out of here with that man. This ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Stop giving that man power he don't have.
And I'm going to serve the people of the state of New York. And by the way, we have a full plate. We have COVID. We have recovery. We have rebuilding. We have a teetering New York City. We have a terrible financial picture. We have to.
Yeah, now let me stop there. He talking about, I can't resign, I'm not going to resign because we got a whole lot on that plate. Maybe, bro, you not the one to handle what's on that plate. Maybe you need to push the plate to the side and let somebody eat it because you're obese. You know, currently right now, he is trying to work with the MTA to stop a contract. You got workers that work on the subways and trains, map store and RA and all that kind of different departments, different division of the transportation department. They won a contract, and now it's time for them to get a raise based on a contract, and he's doing whatever he can to stop those working men and women from getting their raise. No different from Joe Biden undercutting Trump when it came to the freaking stimulus package. Trump giving people $1,200. It does, you know. They want to cut the minimum wage to depend on whether you get a COVID check or not. You're making $80,000 or $120,000 as a couple, you ain't getting no check. You don't know my situation. You're going by a tax code from 2 years ago, and you're going to base my taxes for 2 years ago on whether I should get more money or not. This man is going to have so many people out on the street, so many people under the pressure because they don't have no money to pay the bills. There's no rent forgiveness. This guy should not be handling nothing on the plate. Take your hands off her face and take your hands off the plate because you're ruining things, man. You want to raise the fares to ride the transit system? Doggone Jersey got marijuana legislation way before him, but he was the guy that said, I'm going to get it before everybody. We were the first to bring marriage to LGBTQ, and we're going to be the first to this. You ain't doing the first of nothing. Let me keep going. I'm sorry, guys.
To do vaccines. So no. I'm going to do the job the people of the state elected me to do.
Look, I'm going to end this one. This guy is a con artist to the T. Oh, you can't get no bigger con than this guy. Everybody knew Trump was a crook. You know, if you actually trusted Trump with Trump University and all that stuff, and don't get me wrong, the book that he did with Robert Kiyosaki, that's a pretty decent book, mainly because the knowledge of Robert Kiyosaki. As a business owner, Robert Kiyosaki is right on a whole lot of things. But most of the stuff Trump talked about ain't nothing but utter bull crap. He muscled his way to his wealth. He used the system to get the money, which is okay if the system got it like that. What can you say? Of course, you're going to use it. You're supposed to use it. But he bullied people around. He bullied workers. He bullied contracts. So if you believe Trump was all this, then I don't know what to say. You got conned. I knew Trump was a crook from decades ago here in New York. Man, you got to hear the many stories that they kept from the press about Trump and Trump Enterprise and the con game. But this guy's more of a con than Trump. He has been governor for too long, and it's time for him to go. And like I said, for all the way from don't vote for Ed Koch the homo, vote for my dad Cuomo, to developing the IDC just to stop progressive legislation from getting through, claiming that they stopped them. Fool, you the one created the IDC. Get out of here. Well, if you get rid of them, then I'll go ahead and prove it. Well, we got rid of them. He still haven't passed Medicare for all, which he could do. Still haven't passed marijuana legislation and a whole host of other things because he's a liar and a con. He smeared Cynthia Nixon in election with some Jewish anti-sentiment smears and the fact that she's married to a woman. I can go on and on and on about the con game of Andrew Cuomo, and the con game with his brother too. They're using him to make him seem like he's a normal, regular, funny guy and you should like him. And you shouldn't. There's other capable Democrats or non-affiliated people out here can do a job just as good, if not better than him. And y'all thought this guy's going to be president one day. I knew they were going to try to push him for president if he keep his hands clean, but I knew sooner or later that little facade that they was going to put up concerning Cuomo was going to fall. I knew it was going to happen. You can't have the mask on all night. Sooner or later, you're going to take that sucker off. And this one was ripped off. Now, a lot of people talking about the inappropriate relationship. My main thing is foul up on COVID. We could have had this COVID thing wrapped up by April of last year. There are doctors here in New York, outpatient centers in New York that was using the method, and I ain't gonna go over the method. I've gone over it 100 times. They were using the method with already used medication that was getting massive results, had an efficacy of about 95%. Majority of people were getting healed. And when I say majority, I'm talking about over 90%. You didn't have to shoot yourself in the needle with a bunch of chemicals you don't know what's in it. By the way, the vaccine doesn't cure, and it doesn't make you immune even though you think you are. Still can catch it. But if you look at the studies of the Pfizer vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, the new Johnson & Johnson vaccine, all they do is produce a bunch of antibodies to try to keep the symptoms down until the day comes when the virus dies out, keeping it from replicating. For most people it'll work, for some people it's not. In the method, in the system that they were using way in March, I know because I used it personally and beat it. The medication that we used in March not only subside my symptoms, where you had to give it to people 5 days among diagnosis, not when they halfway dead in the hospital, then try to give it and find out it's not going to work. Then you're going to say, oh, it don't work. Fool, it worked. You worked it wrong. And as a result of it, Governor Cuomo, a lot of people died. So a lot of people talking about the nursing home situation where people die. I'm talking about the people who out here didn't even get a chance to get in a nursing home. Didn't even get a chance to make it through the hospital because they shamed early medication, they shamed early treatment, all to lead over to a freaking vaccine. And I'm not telling people vaccines are not good. I'm not anti-vaxxer. I am anti this vaccine because I believe it's a little too quick. I ain't taking it. A little too quick. But they always had something that would help people, and it was helping people like me and thousands of other people like me in New York. And it ain't got nothing to do with Trump. So this guy is horrible. And honestly speaking, with the amount of people that died in New York City alone, where you had dump trucks out there, ice trucks where you normally move food, frozen food in, being filled up with bodies, and they have to take most of the bodies to this old island where there's a whole bunch of dead bodies out there just to bury them because we didn't have enough people buried. And you got to look at the man who was in charge, and that's not Trump. I'm talking about in charge of New York. I'm talking about Governor Cuomo. Oh, he's so great. He's so fabulous. Oh, I think he'll make a great governor. And I was telling you all along, man, y'all, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. And now he don't want to step down because he got too much work to do. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. The people may have voted you in, but you got to remember the people voted you in because you say you're going to do certain things and you have not done it yet. And if you think we got the same view of you now, you're sadly mistaken. So what do I say about this situation, man? I mean, y'all could comment down here. I mean, if you live in New York City, I mean, tell me some good things Cuomo did, because I see more bad things than he did good. And the whole COVID thing, y'all thought Trump was a mess. And don't get me wrong, Trump was a mess on COVID, up to the point where he caught it himself when he was supposed to do whatever he can to keep it away from the country. But that don't let Cuomo off, because y'all thought he was the next big thing in the Democratic Party when he's actually the next big shame. All right, look, I'm Robert Brown with the Bobby Brown Show. I'll holler at you later. Peace.